Teresa here again. Now, if you wanted to play along, you're going to need some tools. So first off, you're going to want some kind of rope, twine. I'm going to use stick tonight so that you can see what I'm doing. You're going to need a pot and with a plant in it. And with a plant in it. And this, the thing I love about macrame is that you don't even need a plant. You can make a macrame wall hanging. You could make a macrame fruit bowl hanger. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Sent to my house, got that. You might want rings. So rings are optional. They just give you a place to hang, but you can also just make a loop from your rope. Gonna need scissors. Don't cut yourself. No running. And you're also going to need some sort of measuring device, and I've got mine laid out. I'm going to use tape today rather than a hanging, so that I can put all of my demonstrations out on this dark platform for you to enjoy. So, ready or not, you need to figure out how much, and when you turn away, hon, the camera turns too.
Sorry.
How much of this do you need? So there's a pretty simple formula. Start with the height of your project, the total length from where you're going to hook it to where the plant is going to hang. Add in the width of your plant. So add in an additional 20 to 30 inches, and that's going to be to compensate for any knots that you make or a tail that you might want to add. Times 4. There's my 4 pieces, and you take your 4 pieces and you double it, and then you do 8 arms. So there's my 8 arms, and here's my little top. So come in a little bit tighter here, huh? So here's that loop. Here's the top. These are my 8 arms down here. Here's the top. And this is going to be my first very exciting knot of the day. So I would like you to have one short end, and then you make yourself your loop, and you've got a longer end. And you take that loop side down, and you gather up your arms. I'm going to put that loop right on top of my gathers. Yeah, so there's my little loop down here. And all I'm going to do is wind this long bit around. Pull it to that loop. That's all I'm going to do. So around I go, and nice and snug. Now the short end is still poking out. The short end of my gathering loop is still poking out, and I'm going around and around. And this is going to secure. And here's the loop here. Here's the loop. One more time till that my long end is nearly. Take that end and push through the loop here, because the loop is going to pull. So I'm pulling on that short end that I left hanging free a little bit at the beginning, and pull that raw end up into the gathering knot. That is
Teresa,
perfect.
I got to interrupt to say that is so cool.
And then I'm just going to cut this end off, and oh my goodness, a beautiful little knot. I'm going to reestablish myself. So here, there's my anchor, and I've got these lovely arms all pulled out here. They're really my octopus. So here are my arms, and I want to sort of get them organized. So I feel like I've got my strings in. I'm going to turn these this way. They are adjacent. I want them adjacent, and there we go. So I feel like I've got 2, 2, and 2. And what I want to do here, I want to take 2 cords and I want to make a knot. So right here, right about here, I'm going to go about halfway between my gathering knot and the end of my arm. Right there, I'm going to just take these 2 and just wrap them around one another. Tie a knot. Just done.
Overhand knot.
Overhand knot, yes. Come in a little bit closer. What I want you to do here to make it nice and pretty and to make it work, is the next series of knots, they need to be the same height. So there's a, oh, perfect. So pretty. And then another one. So a little bit of tension gives you that ability to put the knot right where you want it. Give it a little push. And if you put it in the wrong place, you could just unknot it. It is that easy. So done with that. And now I've got these 4 sweet little knots in the 4 arms. Done. One set of knots done.
How far up was the first set?
Separate these. So now you want to take your next set of knots, and here's where you want to think about the size of your planter. You don't want your next series of knots way down at the end. You want them fairly close. And my planter is, I don't know, 8 inches tall. 4-inch difference between my first row of knots and my second row of knots. So here is the first row. You take 1 arm from each adjacent knotted arm and make yourself 1 more set of knots. So let's just do those. And just like before, really want to try to get them in about the same place. So now you got the looking like this, and you got 2 final arms on the outside. I'm going to bring them together so that I can do 1 final knot here. And
you created the cradle.
Yeah. So here you got this framework. Yeah. Show you framework. So it's time for another gathering knot. And I could just, throw a knot at the bottom, but how anticlimactic would that be? Cradle all the arms and you pinch it down with your thumb, and then get that little extra bit and let it just be held between your thumb and your forefinger. Then your loop, I'm going to loop it around my pinky finger. So I've got a little framework, and then bring that back up. So there's my short end and my loop. Then I'm going to wrap this around. Got it nice and tight so I can just wrap it all the way around. Wrap, wrap, wrap. What I really like about the gathering knot is that I've been doing the gathering knot with electrical cords. If you have lots of devices around the house, you're going to have all of these cords that just drive you crazy. And I do this with my cords all the time, so they're nice and neat.
That's
Throw
fun. You know that?
and through.
That's the most interesting.
There's that loop, pulling that raw end in. Give it a little help there. Pull, 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 pull. This one's being stubborn.
It's amazing. I love the hint about the electrical cords. It could just change my whole life.
It's a lovely thing. And because this is my end, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap that in there and cut it. So you could get a little raggedy edge there, be very pretty, nice and frayed. And right before your very eyes, a completed handmade macrame plant hanger gift for those that you love.